إلهي إن كان الندم على الذنب توبة.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. We seek the protection of God from Shaitan, who has been expelled from God's kingdom of special grace and mercy because of his defiance and arrogance. If we avoid the satanic habit of arrogance, whatever we know to be true and righteous, by the God-given intellect and divine revelation and human conscience, we submit. And if we avoid the satanic habit of defiance, whatever we know to be wrong and evil and false, by the God-given intellect and the divine revelation and the human conscience, we do not commit. And if we have reliance on God, definitely we'll get the strength to be able to distinguish these satanic thoughts and feelings from those which are divinely inspired. And we'll have the strength to be able to oppose and overcome any temptation. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We humbly seek grace and guidance from God because He is Allah, the absolute perfect being. Nobody can achieve any goodness or perfection until and unless Allah wills it so. And we ask for His grace and guidance because He is Rahman. His rahmah, His mercy, His love, His care reaches out to each and every entity, brings it to life, and then facilitates and enables its movement to the goal of creation. And we ask for His grace and guidance because He is Rahim. His extra love and reward and support, both in the form of success in the dunya and in the everlasting, eternal bounties hereafter, are reserved for those amongst us who recognize the truth, who accept the truth, and who live a life of truth. Alhamdulillah. I quote a praise from the khutbah that was delivered by Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam in the month of Safar at the time of the Battle of Siffin. أحمده استتماما لنعمته واستسلاما لعزته واستعصاما من معصيته وأستعينه فاقة إلى كفايته إنه لا يضل من هداه ولا يئل من عاداه ولا يفتقر من كفاه فإنه أرجح ما وزن وأفضل ما خزن. I praise Him and I thank Him, Imam says, in order to seek the continuity and the completion of His various bounties. My purpose of praising Him is because by thanking Him, I will qualify and I will deserve to get more. And I praise Him to display my submission and my obedience to Him, in that whatever He has given me, I will use His bounties to obey Him. And I praise Him to seek protection and strength not to disobey. وَأَسْتَعِينُهُ, and I am powerless before Him. I recognize that, I admit that. وَأَسْتَعِينُهُ, and therefore I seek His help. فَاقَةً إِلَى كِفَايَتِهِ, but whatever He gives me definitely will be sufficient to enable me to face all the challenges in life. إِنَّهُ لَا يَضِلُّ مَنْ هَدَاهُ, surely nobody will be misguided if Allah guides him. Whoever submits to God, whoever seeks guidance from God, definitely will be provided, because God is all giving and all wise. وَلَا يَئِلْ مَنْ عَادَاهُ, whosoever opposes him, nobody can escape his arrest, because he's all powerful. وَلَا يَفْتَقِرْ مَنْ كَفَاهُ, whosoever is provided by God will never be poor, because God is all generous. فَإِنَّهُ أَرْجَحُ مَا وُزِنْ, and this is the heaviest in the scale of truth, this praise and this thanks and this display of obedience and submission. And therefore, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة ممتحنا إخلاصها, and I testify that there is no power deserving to be worshipped other than God, and this testimony of mine has been tested for its purity and sincerity. What I speak by my words, Imam says, I believe in my mind and I believe through my heart. Every particle of my being has submitted to the authority of the absolute perfect being. مُعْتَقِدًا مُصَاصُهَا نتمسك بها أبدا ما أبقانا وندخرها لأهاويل ما يلقانا. Up until now, I have submitted to this true God, and I'm determined to continue in my submission till the end of my life. And therefore, I prepare the reserves for the next life through this declaration of Tawheed. فَإِنَّهَا عَزِيمَةُ الْإِيمَانِ, the pillar of true Iman is to testify to the true Tawheed of God. وَفَاتِحَةُ الْإِحْسَانِ, the key pillar to every act of virtue is this testimony to the Tawheed. وَمَرْضَاتُ الرَّحْمَنِ وَمَدْحَرَةُ الشَّيْطَانِ, and this is the means to attain the pleasure of God, and it is the means to avoid and to dispel and repel any satanic temptations. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالدين المشهور والعلم المأثور, and I testify that Muhammad is his servant and his messenger, whom he has sent with the universal deen and with a clear message, with clear proofs and the miracle of the book. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله. Community of believers, I wish to remind you and myself and recommend to you the necessity of taqwa. Notice Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam says that La ilaha illallah is not only the pillar of our faith, but it is also the root cause of ihsan, fatihatul ihsan. It is the key to every act of virtue. Kwanini, sababu, you can't submit to the all-perfect being and wish to get closer to the all-perfect being and not become perfect yourself. Incidentally, today, the 13th of November, has been declared by some countries as the World Kindness Day. Introduced in 1998 by the World Kindness Movement. It's observed in many countries: Canada, Japan, Australia, Nigeria, UAE. The essential recognition and awareness that there's a lot of violence, conflict, hostility, pain, suffering going on in the world. And therefore we need to be able to raise awareness and to practically fight against it through charitable acts of compassion and kindness. And therefore the message of taqwa would be to remind ourselves, not only because today is the World Kindness Day, but because we as Muslims cannot be but kind if we believe in the true Allah, the all-perfect being. And if you look at scientific evidence, fortunately psychologists, sociologists have studied the effects of kindness in society. And they have concluded that the very fabric of human society is based on care and compassion and kindness and solidarity and mutual help and service. And incidentally, kindness is not only good for the recipient who receives our kindness, but psychologists say kindness is even good to the donor who shows and displays and acts in a kind manner. So scientists will tell you, those who practice kindness, they are healthier. They will tell you that they live longer. They will tell you that they're happier, they're more popular, they're more productive, and they've got greater success in business. And they live a more interesting life and a more fulfilling life than those who are less kind or unkind. And these people who practice kindness, they are better equipped to be able to face the unpredictability of life. Kindness is what gives meaning to our life and value to our life. It enables us to rise above the problems in life that we may face and the battles that we have to fight in life. In fact, the scientific study about the effects of kindness shows that kindness, in one sense, enables us to understand ourselves better. So there's one philosopher, Dr. Ferrucci, Italian. He says that if the science tells us that you practice kindness, you are healthier, to me as a philosopher that means that we are born to be kind because we're doing something, we don't know how, but something in the act of kindness that is affecting our body and making our body healthier. But that means we've been created to be. How come when you eat healthy food you are healthier? And he says that how come if we are unkind and we are cruel and we are aggressive and we are oppressive, we not only are harming others, but before we harm others, we are harming ourselves. You know, the Quran warns us many times that beware, before you do something evil which will harm somebody else, remember it harms you, then it harms your victim, and vice versa. Whenever you do something good, before it benefits the recipient, it benefits yourself. In ahsantum ahsantum li anfusikum wala in asa'tum falaha. A beautiful example would be smoking. When you smoke, before the passive smoke can harm the passive smoker near you, the exhaled smoke, it has already damaged your lungs. But then you are unaware. Temporarily, there's a little pleasure from the stimulation of nicotine that you get. You feel a little relaxed temporarily, but there's a long suffering and misery that awaits you later on, decades later on, because of smoking. And likewise, the other effect, you want to share the fragrance of flowers with somebody else. I present flowers to the recipient. Before the recipient can enjoy the beautiful smell, me, the donor, will enjoy the beautiful smell. Whatever good we do, we enjoy it first. We may not realize it, but it shows itself later on. In the dunya, in the akhirah. In fact, the psychiatrist Alberto Alberti says that love which is not expressed and shared to others becomes hatred. Joy which is not enjoyed with others becomes depression, a lonely joyness. So kindness has been discovered by these scientists and interpreted by these philosophers to mean it's a mechanism whereby we are growing spiritually and becomes the key to our salvation. And therefore we find grateful people are more efficient. Those people who feel a sense of belonging because of kindness, they feel less depressed. Trusting people because of kindness live longer. Altruistic people who practice altruism and sacrifice and help to others, they enjoy better health. If you smile at others, you are perceived to be an attractive person. If an elderly person engages in talking with others, there is less chance of this elderly suffering from Alzheimer's disease. Children who receive love and kindness in their growing ages, they grow to become healthier, they grow to become smarter and more intelligent. So this philosopher says that therefore kindness is something that enables us to come closer to our true inner core reality, what we are meant to be and what we are meant to do. But kindness can be of two types. It can be a false, fake kindness, or it can be a true, genuine, sincere kindness. False kindness is self-interested. It's selfish. It is calculated. I do something because I expect something in return. That's not selfless. Sometimes it's superficial. I show superficial etiquette. Or sometimes people feel a sense of guilt if they don't give. Everybody else is giving. If I don't give, I feel guilty. But there's no genuine motive to actually help. Sometimes kindness is forced upon people against their will. Sometimes people are angry and somehow to pacify their anger, they show kindness. Sometimes people are weak and show kindness. They say yes, but actually they mean no. Some people support a good cause out of fear, not out of genuine concern. But true, genuine, authentic, sincere kindness will be the one based on true warmth, loyalty, gratitude, trust, patience. And interesting, this psychologist says that kindness is an economic attitude, meaning that it saves us energy and it utilizes our mental and emotional energy in an economic and optimal way. Otherwise, we will use this emotional God-given energy in a negative way, in worry, in suspicion, in hatred, in dislike, and all of these ultimately are going to harm ourselves. So kindness is a positive use of the God-given energy. The Dalai Lama has got an interesting comment. He says that the true essence of humanity is kindness. The best way to find yourself, Mahatma Gandhi, says that to find yourself, lose yourself. Lose yourself in the service of others, and you'll discover the joy of who you are. The hadith says, Al-insan abdul ihsan. Man has been created by God in such a way that he is a servant of ihsan. Do something good to him and you'll win his heart. In fact, one of the psychologists, he says there are three things which are important in human life. The first one is to be kind to others. The second one is to be kind. The third one is to be kind. These are the three most important things in life. Kindness becomes the root of all virtues. In fact, kindness is the fulfillment of a fundamental basic human need, in as much as we need oxygen to survive physically, as much as we need food and drink to survive physically, or psychologically, we need kindness to be mature, to be spiritually growing. And this is something, and the effect is something that we cannot buy with money, but we can win through our kindness acts. And one of the most rewarding effect of kindness is the ripple effect. You take a pebble and throw it into a calm body of water. and it'll generate a small ripple, which will generate a big one, and a bigger one, and bigger, and on and on. The one little kindness you show to this person that you met makes him happy, who then transmits it to his colleague or friend or boss or subordinate, who then transmits it to his spouse, who then transmits it to the driver, who then transmits it to the children. The effect goes on and on to a degree which is unimaginable. In ahsantum, ahsantum li anfusikum. They call it the wave theory. You light up the joy of kindness in people's hearts who are suffering from the darkness of sadness. In the Quran, Allah promises, هَلْ جَزَاءُ الْإِحْسَانِ إِلَّا الْإِحْسَانِ. The reward of goodness is nothing but goodness. Yes, we may not see or experience or realize the immediate effect of kindness in our lives, but definitely over a long term it will show itself. In our community, there are people who are in special situations, who have got special needs. We have in our community people who are disabled, who are elderly, who are mentally retarded, who are autistic, who have got some other physical disability. And therefore, not only on this day of the World Kindness Day, but every day we need to show and display special kindness to these needy and deserving creatures of God. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal Asr. Allah swears by time, and this time is an important time. Innal insana lafi khusr. Man, you are in a state of loss if somebody is reminding you to do something good but you don't listen. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Except for those who keep their ears open and they listen to goodness from wherever it may be. Ultimately, whoever is reminding us today is the World Kindness Day, ultimately, originally, that inspiration to wish good and do good and practice good and preach good, it comes originally from Allah. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Except for those who seek the truth and accept it from whichever source they get. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. And with determination, act on goodness. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. And then they spread this message of goodness. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And collectively fight against evil through the weapon of kindness and compassion. The true evil people are few. The majority can be won over kindness, and the big numbers can defeat the small numbers of evil. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.